I'm 19 years old. But really, I'm 1 year old. Hear me out. So, we didn't really get to do much. Let's say from the age of 0 to 18, how was your life? I mean, you were just going to school, right? You don't really get to do what you wanted, and unless you have a career that actually propels you to where you want to be in the corporate world sense, that's what school is for. Prepare for that. But nowadays, as we know, not everyone wants to work in the corporate space, and that's absolutely fine. I understand that, it's normal, right? Not everyone wants to work in the corporate space. The corporate space isn't for everybody. That's normal, of course. And I believe that's very prevalent in, this day and age. It's very normal, it's very natural, it's very common for people to have interests in a career which isn't, tied to the corporate world. And I'm living proof of that. And a lot of people, we put so much pressure on them ourselves. Oh, I'm behind in life. Oh, it's because you're comparing yourself with other people. You've already had their career figured out. You don't have your career figured out. You didn't give yourself enough time. You still need to keep going. This is why I say I'm 1 year old, because when you're in high school, let's go from 0, bro. First 4 years of my life, I don't even remember it, bro. Well, that's a lie. First 3 years, I don't remember. I don't have memory till I was 4. 4 to 11, you're going to primary school, right? 11 to 16 is secondary school. At least I'm speaking from the UK educational standpoint, right? Then you got 16 to 18 is college, 18 to 21 university, if you will. Maybe 28, depending on the course they're taking. I know for doctors, their courses can be for 5-10 years, depending on what they're doing and whatnot. Whatever. That's beside the point. But we're not talking about corporate. We're talking about regular guys. So I say I'm 1 year old because I didn't really get to live. I don't really have much of a life. It's not by accident how when you turn 18, you're fresh out of school, you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Where's my life going? What do I do next? That's not by accident. And of course you feel like that. I feel like that. I don't know what I'm doing here. I have some form of vision of where I want to be, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't know where my life is going to go. Well, I do in the sense of I know what goals I want, but I'm sure it'll become more clear as I get older. But in general, no, I don't really know what I'm doing. No, I do not have enough time. When a baby's young, when they're like 0, what do they do when they're 1 year old? They eat, they sleep, and they poop, and they cry. Of course they do. They're still warming up. They're still getting the motions of being a human. And I view myself as a 1 year old right now in the game of life. I don't believe actual learning of life, education, true education, begins when you're 18, because you're out in the real world. There's so much things in the real world that we weren't educated about in school. About tax, you probably heard of it from your parents, but you never truly knew what tax was on a deep level. Tax, mortgages, houses, bills, kids, all this stuff, man. They don't teach you that in school. They teach you surface level things, to which for the most part, most of us guys will never learn. I mean, let's talk about me. They taught me all types of things in school class, maths, arithmetic, and I don't use them anymore. I don't feel the need. They used to teach me this like long division of dividing numbers. Guys, I'm not a math into shit. I don't need to learn all that stuff. I don't deem it as important, so I just chucked it away. I mean, the only thing from school that I probably still use for the rest of my life is PE and poetry, because that's the only thing that interests me. Other than that, the majority of things they teach in school are surface level, and I'm almost willing to bet, and this is taken into account, most people don't really like school, let's be honest. They didn't really like school. We weren't really fond of the subjects, don't get me wrong, we still revised pretty hard to get them grades, but yeah, we just did it so we don't get expelled, we were told to do so. But then you go to the real one and you're absolutely clueless. What career path do I have to take? What's next? I don't blame you for feeling that way, it's normal, I feel that way. I mean, I have somewhat of an idea of a career path, but talking for most people, you're still figuring the game out. I'm 1 year old because I still live with my mum, right? I don't know life yet. And a lot of people, they put too much pressure on themselves. You may see a 19-year-old guy who's a famous footballer, has a net worth of like 20 million. You're like, oh my days, how is he so rich? How is he dating all these beautiful, hot 20-year-old women and I'm broke working at Co-op? It's not fair because he's already put in his out. He knew his career already. He knew what he wanted to do, man. He knew that he wanted to He knew he wanted to do football from a young age. For some of you guys, it may take you to like 25 till you figure your career out. Hey, that may be the case for some of you lot. And then, as a byproduct, people will take off at different times. And, that's fine. That's normality. It's different for everyone. This is why you shouldn't compare your success stories with someone else's success stories, because you truly never know. You don't know, man. You don't know. So I like to class myself as 19 years old. And I believe that mindset gives me grace. So I believe an 18-year-old is actually zero. Right? Because you're just out of school, you don't know what you're doing. This is why we all feel lost. And let's say a 36-year-old, I would class him as 18 years old. He's had 18 years in the real, in the governmental system. 18 is the legal age. And it just so happens that when you're 18, for most of us, we're done school at 18. But I used to think prior to being 18, when I'm 18, I'm going to be a fully matured adult. I'm far from it, man. Far from it. I'm sure I do have a good head on my shoulders, but there's a lot to learn, man. There's a lot to learn, isn't there? I'm 19 now, I'm not 18 anymore, but I'm telling you, when I was 18, I felt that way, man, for sure. But now, man, 18-year-old, you're kind of, 0 to 18 was the development years, so it's not enough time to be exposed to the real world. Add another 18 years to that, let's say you're 36 years old, more than enough time, man, because, bro, that's actual education in the real world. You know how things work now. You understand others. When you're a teenager, we take things for granted. You don't really know your parents' struggles like that, the deep nuanced things, what your teachers probably went through, But when you're 18 plus, you can just answer them certain questions. Of course, if you educate yourself early, I'm sure you can understand that too. But I'm just talking for the majorities. Not really until you're 18 when life starts slapping you in the face and people around you become more relatable, especially parents and adults. And you'll notice, they're a lot easier to communicate with them, And you realize and you remember, get to that realization. Yeah, adults have struggles too, man. Damn. Adults have many struggles too, of course. We took that for granted though. Why you look back in your childhood, why your mum couldn't buy X product, where your father couldn't buy you X product. She was tight on money, man, but you don't understand that when you're a kid, man. Of course, sir. You don't understand that. We didn't have time, we're still developing. We don't think about, when you're a kid, you just think about yourselves. From the majority. That's our parents' role, to draw that mindset out of us, make us better people, instill those good morals into us, and go for it from there. But yeah, man, I'm 19, but I'm really one, and I'm just getting started. It's like I told you, it gives me grace because I can think long term now. Right? You have more time in the game. Let's say I want to have kids at 40, right? Well, that's 22 years in the real world. That's a mature age. So when I'm 40, I'm really 22 in terms of real life, actual experience outside of school. Me 1 year old now at 19, not enough experience. You're still a baby. I'm still a baby sucking on mum's tits, and you're sleeping and pooping and crying each and every day, messing up, figuring out the career in the sense of the baby spinning things over, being corrected. Oh, yep, you're not meant to do this. You get the point, right? That's the mindset I have. It's a good mindset to have because it saves you. It promotes long-term thinking, and you don't do stupid things to get attention. It's very common nowadays. I watch a lot of videos, different industry streamers, YouTubers, they do viral, provocative things for the sake of clout. They don't have a good head on their shoulders. Yeah, because they're only like 10, 11, 12. Come on, man. So they do stupid stuff. Not really a roadmap guide. You figure it out along the way. And that's how I feel. Figure out the pain along the way. It's a journey. It's not an easy one, but one worth the pursuit. Yeah, I believe 18-year-olds are zero because we're just starting out, exposed to the real world, man. Just got out of high school. I like to view it like this, and I made this analogy quite common in the past. Well, quite frequently in the past. So you have a pool. The pool is a kiddie pool. 0 to 18. You're cuddled, The government's helping you out. The government's giving you paychecks. The government's taking care of you. You can have free travels, free public transport, you name it. Parents are providing for you bills and whatnot. Then you're instantly thrown into the deep end pool. That's where the sharks are now. That's 18 to 100 plus, because there's people out there who are 100. Let's say 18 till you die. It's a vast world out there, man. Yes, people die There are cases people under 18 die. It's unfortunate as well. But let's be general here. I'm with the Sharks now. I'm 19 now. I'm with the big dogs. I need to figure this shit out myself. I need to figure this game out because there's no government providing money for you now. It's no free public transport. You need to get that money, man. You gotta work for it. You gotta find your career, find your shit. And it's more than just career, of course, but just different character traits which will make you a better person to make your career better and bleed out to every other area in your life, you know? And I'm still figuring that out. So I give myself grace because, you know, I too fell in the trap of, oh, I'm behind, you know, comparing my life to someone else. Not ideal. It's really not. And it's unfair to yourself. You think you're a failure in your early 20s, late 20s. You're not. You just didn't have enough time to figure it out yet. I actually truly believe it will all come together eventually. These are just the tough years now because we didn't give ourselves enough time. So give yourself grace, give yourself peace, and eventually, with you improving, the pain will cease.